I remember when I finally went to driving school, which was 3 years ago. I was 33, was 35 actually. Damn. Um, yeah, I was. I remember I was getting back spasms after lessons, especially the first few lessons. The tension behind the wheel, like I was feeling so much tension that by the end of the lesson, I felt pain in my back. And by the time I went home, my back was blocked and I couldn't move so for like 2 days. This is how bad it was. This is driving anxiety or Amaxophobia, as it is called. It is a clinically recognized condition, a clinically recognized phobia. It's very invalidating. People just tell you to toughen up. Everybody has anxiety when they start driving. It's very hard for people to understand that the anxiety you feel is much, much, much more intense. And that's because we as humans have in us two very strong biases. One would be, I will actually, because I wrote about this on Instagram a few months ago, I will try to put it on the screen as I talk about it. The self-referencing bias, which means you basically equate other people's experiences to your own. So when people tell you they feel a lot of anxiety when driving, you think about when you were starting driving and you had some anxiety, most likely, and you think that's what they feel. And the second one is the self-serving bias, which refers to the fact that we tend to attribute personal accomplishments to intrinsic qualities like ambition, like resilience, So that's why, and this is generally valid for all kinds of anxiety, for depression. Most of the times, people will not be able to see you, to validate you, to understand you, because they would have to drop the self-reference bias, which is hard enough to accept that your anxiety is at a much higher intensity, but that would also challenge the self-serving bias, because then it means, well, maybe the fact that I got my driving license wasn't just because I'm more resilient and more and stronger than other people. Maybe other people actually feel more anxiety. So yeah, that being said, the symptoms, like the psychological mechanisms behind driving anxiety, are the same as in every phobia. This is a situational phobia. It's catastrophizing. It's threat perception, like perceiving a much higher level of danger than it actually is in reality. Um, and it's a perceived total lack of control. The symptoms: dizziness, palpitations, sweating, panic attacks happen to some people. Uh, you can experience lack of coordination, which is actually lack of orientation in space, which is actually can be dangerous when driving. And this produces another challenge, which I will talk about shortly. What happens is basically your sympathetic nervous system goes into overdrive, goes into hyperactivity, and that triggers fight or flight response. So obviously, panic. Another big challenge in driving anxiety is the fact that, for phobias, the main treatment is exposure. In driving anxiety, exposure can indeed be a bit more difficult, because driving does involve a real level of danger, although it is much less than we tend to perceive it. Um, but there's a level and of danger, and because there is this level of danger, this makes you like it's the perfect excuse to avoid. But again, it's just an excuse because we can start, with just sitting in the car, then slowly, start driving in the parking lot. So it can be done, choosing an easy route, uh, doing that route today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, repetition. So exposure therapy can be done, but there's this difficulty of the fact that there is a legitimate level of danger in driving. Um, Treatment, while you start doing exposure therapy slowly, what can help is, breathing exercises can help. Um, Cognitive reframing is very important, like changing the way we perceive driving, changing the way we perceive the danger associated with driving, changing how we perceive, maybe changing our negative beliefs about ourselves, because driving anxiety can be associated with lack of self-esteem, and the anxiety may come from the fact that we believe we are just not capable of doing it. We're working on that. Um, Another thing that can help is imagery techniques, like visualizing your route, being so you can start feeling prepared, kind of like in public speaking, In public speaking, when you rehearse your speech and you feel competent, the anxiety level drops. The same is with driving. If you visualize your route, start feeling prepared, start knowing what decisions you're gonna make, and then doing it one time, two times, the anxiety level drops. That being said, it is not easy. It's one of the phobias which I would say is most difficult overall. With the lack of validation that comes with it, the pressure, like, come on, when are you gonna get your license? Are you gonna start driving? The fact that certain people kind of absolutely need it, like I know in the US, it's really difficult sometimes. It can be without a car, long distances. In Europe, I would say in the European Union, for example, in the big cities, you don't really need the car. Like, a disclaimer, I'm still not driving that much because I still have some level of anxiety behind the wheel, not as intense as I first had it, but I still do. Uh, and I use the fact that I absolutely don't need it to avoid, because honestly, I do not need it. In fact, in my city, in Bucharest, it's easier without a car. The traffic is crazy. So I honestly don't understand people who choose to travel by car in Bucharest unless they don't absolutely need it. So, and for longer distances, there's trains, there are airplanes. So I use this to avoid, um, but I'm still I'm still doing it from time to time, to challenge myself and to be ready, because you may need sometimes in case of an emergency driving license. Overall, driving anxiety is something that can be overcome if it's something you want to do. At the end of the day, it's not mandatory unless you absolutely need it. It's not easy. People will think it's easy, but it's not. It's important for you to know that it's not easy, and to draw, self-worth and value your success if you choose to work on this, on driving anxiety. That being said, for more anxiety related content, depression, all the good stuff, addictions, you can drop a subscribe, which I never know where I put it. And see you soon.